stop. Do not scroll. In the next few moments, I am going to tell you a financial truth that Wall Street and central banks are desperately trying to conceal. This is not about buying a whole Bitcoin. That ship has sailed for most of us. This is about one small, decisive thing. 0.1 BTC. Here is the brutal reality. 0.1 Bitcoin, 1/10, is not merely an investment goal. It is an escape ticket from a system engineered to bleed your life's work dry. Most people dismiss it immediately. They look at the $60,000 or $70,000 price tag and tell themselves, "Not for me. I cannot afford it." And that is the single greatest financial mistake of this century. They walk away without realizing that the real opportunity is not owning the whole coin, but owning any piece of absolute scarcity. You are standing before the narrowest door in financial history, and it is closing. Every second you hesitate, a multi-billion-dollar institution is quietly buying the fraction that should have been yours. If you want to understand how to exit the financial treadmill of ruin imposed by fiat money and build an unassailable financial position with 0.1 BTC, even if you do not have a large sum of money, keep watching. This is the only action plan you will ever need. A. The inevitability of scarcity. Future wealth will not ask you how much you wanted to own. It will ask you how much you actually held. Let us analyze this harsh rule. We are talking about Bitcoin. The supply is permanently capped at 21 million coins. No exceptions, no further issuance, no printing press can override this code. Scarcity is hard-coded into the source code. Now, look at 0.1 BTC and 21 million Bitcoins. Divided into 0.1 BTC units gives us a total of 210 million units. With over 8 billion people on this planet, if every person attempted to own just 0.1 Bitcoin, the supply would not be enough for 3% of humanity. The remaining 97% would be permanently locked out of the game. This is not a theoretical problem. This is the brutal mathematics of absolute scarcity. This is why, in the next 10 years, owning 0.1 Bitcoin will be a privilege, not a goal. B. The tragedy of actual supply, and the truth is worse. 21 million is only the theoretical number. Millions of Bitcoins are gone forever. Lost passwords, discarded hard drives, unrecoverable wallets. Serious studies suggest that up to 30% of the total coin supply is mentally lost forever. They are not being sold. They are not hidden. They are extinct. This means the actual circulating supply is not 21 million. It is closer to 14 to 15 million coins. The door was narrow. Now it is even narrower. C. The new adversary. Institutional money. If you think you are only competing with retail investors like yourself, you are mistaken. Look at the bigger picture of 2025. Over 120 million millionaires globally. Even if they lowered their sights to 0.1 BTC each, the supply would be insufficient. But the game completely changed with the advent of Bitcoin ETFs. BlackRock, Fidelity, Vanguard. These giants, who once called Bitcoin a bubble, are now channeling billions of dollars from pension funds, insurance companies, and global corporations into the market. They are not testing. They are piling in legally, rapidly, and at an unprecedented scale. Every new ETF share purchased is Bitcoin being withdrawn from the open market and moved into these institutions' cold storage vaults. They are taking the seats you are hesitating over. You are no longer up against random retail investors. You are competing with trillion-dollar funds and governments who are only now realizing that time is running out. D. Halving and the flow of new supply. The halving event, cutting the mining reward in half every 4 years, constantly reduces the flow of new BTC being created. By 2032, new Bitcoin will be so scarce that the inflow will nearly disappear. This means you are not just competing against other buyers, you are competing against time itself. A. The dark secret of fiat currency. Be honest with yourself. You work hard. You save. But your money is designed to lose value over time. This is not a system flaw. This is a mandatory feature. The official goal of the central bank is to make your $1,000 worth less every single year. If you do not grasp this, you are not an investor. You are the financial treadmill runner, where the speed always increases, but you never move forward. B. The great erosion of purchasing power. Look at this grim reality. Over the last 50 years, the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. This is not bad luck. This is how the system is constructed. Every new dollar, euro, or peso created out of thin air dilutes the value of all other units, including yours. Fiat money is like a leaky bucket. You can pour all your labor into it, but the water, your purchasing power, will always leak out. You are working just to stand still. C. The harsh lesson of asset freezing. And there is another Machiavellian layer of risk: control. In 2022, the world witnessed the consequences when global powers froze over $300 billion of Russia's assets overnight. If your assets can be frozen, they do not truly belong to you. Fiat money is subject to the whims of institutions and politicians. It can be censored. D. Bitcoin, the anti-fiat shield. Bitcoin completely flips this archaic system. Bitcoin is non-inflationary. It cannot be printed. It will be only 21 million coins, forever. Scarcity is written in code, not in a promise. If fiat money is running on an accelerating treadmill, then Bitcoin is a digital vault, where your labor never evaporates. When you hold 0.1 Bitcoin, you are buying a shield against inflation and manipulation. You are buying your own sovereignty. A. The emotional trap. The biggest mistake of the retail investor is trying to master the market, trying to time the top and catch the bottom. They act on emotion, and in the financial game, emotion is the #1 enemy of profit. The market waits for no one. B. The power of consistency. This is where the dollar-cost averaging DCA strategy emerges as the ultimate tool of the disciplined investor. You do not need to guess the perfect moment to buy. You just need to buy consistently, bit by bit, week after week. The amount is less important than the consistency. Over time, your average cost will normalize, and you will detach yourself from the market's wild fluctuations. C. The unbeatable math of accumulation. The true power of DCA lies in its ability to remove the human element from the equation. Consider the 0.1 BTC goal. Assume someone invests just 100 per week consistently for the next 5 years, without panic. The total invested capital is only about 26,000. By the end of that period, they could have accumulated 0.1 Bitcoin or even more, depending on the price action. This is a methodical, effective plan. No gambling required. It only requires 3 things: patience, consistency, and belief in the math of coded scarcity. 0.1 Bitcoin is not a pipe dream. It is an achievable and necessary goal for those who act with persistence. Time is always on the side of the patient. A. Bitcoin. Redefining sovereignty. Owning 0.1 BTC is a declaration. I own myself. You are your own bank. Your assets are unassailable. Trust is replaced by mathematics. You are placing your faith in code, in a verified algorithm. B. The absolute power of independence. When you hold 0.1 Bitcoin, you are protecting your assets from governments that can decide, overnight, that your labor is worthless. 0.1 BTC in 2025 will be a financial shield against inevitable financial chaos. C. The game with no extra seats. Let us return to the grim image of scarcity. This musical chairs game is winding down. The hesitation is not just a missed opportunity. It is the permanent narrowing of access to a real-time vanishing asset. Those waiting for the perfect dip do not realize it. With every block created, they are not losing value. They are losing access. If trillion-dollar pension funds and major governments are racing to own a piece of Bitcoin, what are they telling you? They are telling you, time is scarce. Everything we have discussed is not theory. It is happening now. The coins are being lost. The next inflationary crisis is looming. The institutional players are taking their seats. And time, as always, marches relentlessly forward. You can watch, you can debate, you can wait for the price to drop, but in this game, the rewards do not go to the smartest or the fastest. They go to those who act while everyone else hesitates. Remember the core truth: 21 million. Not a single coin more. Every tenth, every percent is a ticket into an ecosystem owned by the very few. The greatest failure in finance is not losing money. It is missing out on generational wealth transfer due to hesitation and lack of discipline. When the music stops, no new seats will be added. And those who already have a seat, those who accumulated 0.1 BTC with DCA discipline, they are not getting up. If you think 0.1 Bitcoin is too small, remember that scarcity is not measured in zeros. It is measured in the abundance of people who want it and cannot get it. The future will not ask why you did not buy more. It will ask, did you buy anything? Delay is not neutral. Delay is a terrible decision. Do not let 0.1 Bitcoin become your "I wish I had" story. Take immediate, disciplined action. Set up a small, regular DCA strategy today. Whatever you can maintain consistently. Your goal is 0.1 BTC. The door of opportunity is closing. Step inside while you still can, because once it is shut, there is no second chance. Thank you for watching until the end. If this analysis changed the way you see things, leave a like, subscribe for more deep financial insights, and share this video with the person you want to see own 0.1 BTC by 2025. Act now. Time is Bitcoin.